Good morning, everyone. I just finished up my meditation. And as soon as I was done, I'm going to get coffee now. As soon as I was done, I thought, oh my gosh, I have to share this with you guys. So it was such a simple realization. But, here on the podcast, we talk about you are in control of you. You are in control of your thoughts. You get to choose what you think, act, and feel each and every day. And a great metaphor for this is our breathing. What do I mean by this? If we allow ourselves, our bodies are genius. Like they will do the work for us. Your body keeps you alive every single day. Your heart beats without thinking. Your lungs fill with air, without thinking. I have this new frother for my coffee. I've seen everybody having one, and I'm like, gosh, that would be so cool to have. And so I got one, and I just dropped it. But our bodies are such intelligent beings. We breathe without thinking. Our hearts beat without thinking. Hell, we make babies without thinking. Like it just knows exactly what to do. But at the same time, we can consciously change that. Consciously, we have to be aware of it. If we focus on it, we can control it. So for example, right now, this last minute or so I've been talking, you've been breathing on your own. You haven't been thinking about it. You haven't had to tell your body, okay, breathe in. Okay, breathe out. Okay, breathe in. Okay, breathe out. And just like your brain, like you're not telling it to think a certain way. Maybe you are, but most likely you're having thoughts roll through your brain like, oh, I'm going to be late here. Oh, I have to do this. Or, oh, I have to do that. Busy, go. Stress, overwhelm, everything setting in. But you can choose to control both of those situations. So for example, if I tell you to breathe in for 4, hold for 4, breathe out for 4, you have now consciously taken over your breathing pattern. Just as if I were to tell you, hey, I want you to think about a red balloon. Your brain all of a sudden starts thinking about a red balloon. You're bringing conscious awareness to a red balloon. And maybe that's a little creepy. It makes me think of the movie It. So let's say that you're going to get a brand new black SUV. And you're like, oh man, yes, I really want a new car. You want it with a sunroof, and you want it with leather. You want it with those 20-inch black rims. You want it with the premium sound system because even though you're a mom, you're still a badass. And as soon as you drop those kids off, you're going to be jamming out to some Lil Jon and the East Side Boys. And you're going to sing every damn dirty word to that song. You're going to make sure that bass is on Super Mega Plus, whatever the hell that looks like nowadays, right? You're going to throw your shades on, and once that bass starts to hit, you're going to have goosebumps because you're just like, I am fucking awesome. Now, as I'm saying that, chances are you put yourself in that story too. That's what I do, guys. Like, that's me. I'm that mom. I'm like, drop my kids off, and I'm like, crank it up. I even blew a speaker in my truck a couple years ago because that's how I roll. But you just brought awareness to either your breathing and or your thoughts based on what I was telling you. And this is the power of meditation. So for just that split second, your body, your mind got to relax because I was telling it what to think and what to feel, like what to do. Same with your breath. Was telling it what to do. Sometimes if we just are in like hustle mode and hyperdrive all the time, like just letting our brain like go a million miles an hour, that in itself is exhausting. Like, it is. Like, I remember doing things, and I still do it, but I'm so much better at it. Like, if you guys would have seen me 5 or 10 years ago, I can't stress how much I was, one, a shithead, and two, just like a workhorse, man. Like, I would do a million things at once. I would get so much stuff done in a day. And then what? I'd be exhausted. Like, my self-worth was 1000% based on how productive I was in the day. And if I didn't get things done, I felt like a bag of dicks. I was not happy with myself. I would say terrible things to myself. And then I found the power of meditation. And it's seriously changed my life. It's so simple. It's so simple. It's so simple that we overthink it. We overcomplicate it. We do. Every day we're like, oh, this is too easy. Too easy. But what if you just took 2 minutes a day and just focused on your breathing? What if you took 5 minutes and listened to a guided meditation and just was open about it? Sometimes we judge ourselves, like we're like, oh, we're not doing this right. We're not doing this right. I'm telling you, we were all beginners at one point. Everybody who has ever meditated in their entire life is like questioning whether or not they're doing it right. If that's you, you're doing it right. Literally just keep listening to the guided meditation. And one day it will become easier. You will start to feel more relaxed. You'll start to have more control of your thoughts. Practice makes progress. Nothing happens overnight. There is no experts that just woke up one day and they're like, I'm going to be an expert in this field. They say that, technically to become an expert, you have to put in 10,000 hours of work in that particular field. Okay. So you can't just wake up one day, listen to one meditation and be like, I'm cured, or I'm an expert, or, oh, that didn't work, so I give up. Just try it. Try it for 30 days. Give yourself 30 days of a daily 5-minute meditation. Create that space, create that habit for yourself, and watch how it changes your life. And if you are having, if you're having a hard time finding like the time or the space, maybe stay up 5 minutes later after the kids go to bed. Maybe get up 5 minutes earlier before the kids get up. Hell, maybe you do it for 5 minutes while they're napping in the car when you get home. Like, sometimes my kids they fall asleep in the car all the time. Hang on, I'm gonna take a drink of coffee. Oh, that's so good. Sometimes they fall asleep in the car on the way home, and when I get home, they're still sleeping, and I will put on literally like a 2-minute breathing exercise, or sometimes I'll just do it on my own because I'm like mentally preparing myself for the change that's about to happen as soon as I wake them up. So I'm like, okay, I want one last moment of peace before the witching hour is what I call it. The witching hour begins, and that's the evening time where it's like baths, dinner, bedtime, stories, everybody's crying, everybody's rushing around, and then we live on an acreage, so it's like chores and this and that, and make sure the dogs have their pills, or the dog has their pills, and the dogs are fed, and the cats are fed, and the horses are fed, and so I'm just running around feeding everybody. And I know that sometimes can be chaos, but that's my life. And there will be one day where I will come home to an empty house and wish that I would have just been a little more present with my kiddos. So this is another thing that I do that you could try. And that's just to put your phone away in the evenings. We actually sit down at the dinner table and eat together. We've been doing this since I had kids. So like 3 years ago is when we started doing this. We're like, nope, we're just going to start sitting at the table and being a family. And we don't have our phones at the table. We don't work during dinner. And if we're home together, we are sitting down, actual plates with servings of food on them, your glass of water or your glass of wine or whatever. And we talk and we say, how was your day? What was the best thing about today? What are you excited about? Or sometimes I'll say the kids were awful today. But then they look at you and I'm like, okay, but I love you anyways. And we have conversations with our kids. Like, I want to know what they did, if they weren't with me, obviously. Otherwise, we share what we did that day. Like today, they're home with me. And that's just the beauty of, being your own boss and your own business owner, is I do create my own schedule and I do work in those pockets and windows of time. And you can be super successful and still be a mom. I feel like a lot of people out there say you have to do one or the other, and that's bullshit. Don't let anybody tell you that. That's a cultural, societal belief. That's false. So my takeaway for you today is you can control your life just like you can control your breathing. But if you don't stop and consciously make the choice to change, you will keep living life on autopilot. You will keep going through the motions because you are an intelligent being, and in order to keep yourself alive and functioning, that is what your body and your mind is designed to do. It is designed to keep going through the motions. It is designed to keep you safe. It is designed to keep you alive. But it is your choice, your conscious choice. It needs to be you bringing awareness to your situation and choosing differently. If you do not like whatever situation you're in right now, know that you solely have the power to change that. It starts with a decision. It can be super, super scary, but you have to start somewhere. You have to start somewhere. Start with a 5-minute meditation. Let your brain just relax so that you can start to create that time and space to dream up what you want your life to look like. I know sometimes it can be hard to say, like, I don't even know what I want because I don't even have time to think. I think I saw a meme the other day that said something about parents saying, like our parents would say, shut up so I can think. And is that not more true than this stage of life? Like when people are constantly talking to you and like wanting things from you, it's like, it's really hard to even know what you're thinking. And it's really easy to set into that frustration or that anger. So give yourself that time and space, that just few moments a day to just breathe, relax, and let your mind wander to the endless possibilities that can be your life. They can. And it could be super simple. It could be as simple as, I want to eat healthier foods. I want to go for a run. Or you can do things like, I want to write a book. I want to start my own business. I want to start my own podcast. Teeny tiny baby action steps every single day will lead you to the life you want to live. Those choices will compound over time. They will compound. Think of if you did something to make yourself 1% better each and every day, how far you would come in a year, versus if you did nothing, versus if you did something not helpful and you spiraled 1% each day for a year. What would your life look like? What would your life look like? Again, just like you're breathing, you can control you. Pretty cool stuff. I'll catch you guys tomorrow.